What's up, Dunwoody? Welcome back to the podcast. It's all about Dunwoody, Georgia. My name is Matt Weber. The show is brought to you by Dr. Brett Friedman with Village Orthodontics and our friends at Discover Dunwoody. Today, I've got Tim Brown on. Tim is the president of the Homeowners Association, and he's got something new to talk about. A lot of you guys know Food Truck Thursdays, and this is a little twist on Food Truck Thursdays. So, Tim, tell us all about it.
Well, thanks. Good to be here as always. Thanks for the support that your platforms give us. We really appreciate the exposure.
Thanks for all you do for the DHA.
Food Truck Thursdays is, it's a 14, 15-year event that, has been kind of a mainstay event for the Homeowners Association, like the parade, like Light Up Dunwoody, a lot of the things that we do. But over time, the competition for food truck events, just, the cyclical nature of event planning, in and of itself, saw this event becoming I hate to use the word stale, but it became a little stale. We were having a hard time getting people to show up. Eventually we went from once a week to once a month, which is where it has stayed. So we did with, and that's no one's fault. That's just the way, the way things go in the event world. Last year, as you know, we took a look at a lot of things, to include the logo, the website. I can name 100 things that we took a look at, but this was one of the events that we examined and thought it might be prudent to shake the event up a little bit. So with the help, as you know, my creativity and my idea span is about like that. So I have to have a lot of people around me that
you've done a good job of putting people around you.
A lot smarter than I am. But we took a look at it and said, why don't we do something different this year? And the more we talked about it, the more we liked it. So what we came up with was a play on Food Truck Thursdays. And this year we are rebranding, relaunching. We launched the new brand a couple of days ago, but it's called Dine Around Dunwoody, which gives credence to the traditional food trucks, food, bring your blanket, bring your tailgate chair, let us do the cooking kind of thing. But we thought this year that we would not be completely dependent on Brook Run Park for the location. So the Dine Around part means that we're going to test and introduce ourselves and introduce some new locations to the event. So we're pretty excited about it. And we think that it'll give DHA and the event some opportunities to show itself and to show Dunwoody some locations that maybe Dunwoody hasn't been to in the past. So I think we're covering a lot of ground with the same event.
I think that's a great idea because I haven't been to like Wildcat Park, haven't been to Homecoming Park. It's just, they're out of my immediate area and there's not a whole lot there yet. And so I think if you could bring people to those parks, then people might be more interested in revisiting those parks or excited when there's new stuff coming to those parks. So it'll be good for the city too.
Yeah. So we, food trucks, will remain a staple. We'll have a good core of food trucks. We're looking to do a little more family friendly fare this year. We want hot dogs and hamburgers. We want tater tots. We want, a taco truck or a pizza truck, soft serve ice cream, popcorn. We want everybody to be able to say, if I'm 35 or 55 or 15, there's going to be something there that the entire family can partake of and eat without having to say, well, let's pack up our stuff and go to Chick-fil-A. And speaking of Chick-fil-A, we will have the Chick-fil-A tent at Food Truck at Dine Around Dunwoody. See, I made the same mistake. We'll have the Chick-fil-A tent and the Chick-fil-A cow at the event. So all the kids of all ages, because, I'm a cow guy, kids of all ages can get their picture taken with the Chick-fil-A cow at Dine Around
Nice.
Dunwoody. So we, again, a different brush on the same concept, but we think that there's going to be something there for everybody.
Yeah. I think another good thing of moving it around is that I felt like Food Trucks Thursdays. I mean, I know a lot of people, but it seemed like there was a lot of my neighborhood, Dunwoody North, right here, that was able to walk over there. And so that was most of the guests that were there. And so moving it to, Pernishaw or Wildcat Park, like you'll probably get more different people there. And so I like that idea for that reason.
We hope so. And like Light Up at Donaldson Bannister Farm, I think different location, different enthusiasm, a lot of things just worked. And we hope that same lightning strikes, for 5 Thursdays, throughout the year for the Dine Around Dunwoody event.
Yeah.
The other thing is that we are going a lot bigger on entertainment this year. It's not just the food. We think we have to have a draw. So for the May 21st is the first one at Brook Run Park. The City Parks and Recs is also introducing their new maintenance shed that same day, and they're going to have an event there and sort of invite everyone to walk down to the other end of the park and participate in Dine Around Dunwoody this year. So there could be really an overflow crowd on May 21st, but we've got a great band. G Clef and the Playlist will be the band. I saw them at Groovin' on the Green a couple of years ago. They're an excellent cover band.
Yeah.
I joked at the meeting the other night that I would make them my personal house band if I could, but they just get up on the stage and they play for 2.5 hours and then they say thank you, goodbye. But they're a great band. Some of the locations that we're at this year probably are a little more conducive to DJs rather than bands, but entertainment is going to be a part of the mix this year in addition to the food. So that's, it's going to cost us a little money. We'll need to figure out how to pay for all this, but we think in order to get people from other neighborhoods other than Dunwoody North, which is where I live too, we want people to get excited about, Dine Around Dunwoody, regardless of where they live. If you can give us 2.5 hours on a Thursday night, we'd love to have you. Yeah,
that's awesome. Well, you've done a good job of putting together the right people to build your social media, changing all the emblems and stuff like that, building out the website. And so you do have a lot better capability of reaching people. And, I'm sure the EEP events is part of this as well, because you kind of brought them in on everything. And it's a nice jump start.
Jimmy was and Leah, they were a fixture, anyway, with Light Up Dunwoody. Jimmy has staged the parade, forever. And it made sense last year. Julia and I concentrated a lot last year on branding. The new logo, the new website, new catchphrases, neighbors connecting neighbors, that type of thing. Yeah. And we sort of took that to a level. Well, okay, people know what we look like. It's time to say and show people who we are. So we've sort of moved into a marketing phase, if you will, of the life of the DHA. So yes, EEP events, Leah and Jimmy are a big part of that. Julia Framett remains a big part of that. But, people like you who are on the DHA board, we don't do anything without the concurrence of the board. So we've had a lot of support across the board for the things that we want to do. And this is just another step in that direction with the sort of the relaunching and the reinventing of this event.
Right. But it all takes money. And so you guys have done a good job of raising a little bit more money this year. All right, quick timeout. You thinking about selling your home this year? Nah, probably not. Statistically, like 10% of you are. And if that's you, I would love to be a realtor right now. If that's not you, plug into my What's Up Dunwoody Facebook pages and groups. You can follow Top End ATL on TikTok and Instagram. Let me help keep you informed on what's going on around town. And then when you do need an agent, you know right where to find me. Or maybe you know somebody who would like to move to the area. You can send them some of What's Up Dunwoody stuff and say something like, this guy would be a fun agent to work with. because it's true. I'm actually super fun to work with. And I know the city and I love the city more than the next guy. So if you ever need a real estate question answered, a neighborhood opinion, or just help connecting the dots around Dunwoody, hit me up. And thanks for listening to the podcast. This episode and every episode of the show is brought to you by Discover Dunwoody, Dunwoody's destination marketing organization that is focused on promoting the city, supporting local businesses, and driving visitors here. And if you follow What's Up Dunwoody on social, you've already seen a lot of their stuff. I'm constantly sharing their amazing videos that they put out because, frankly, they're better than I can make. So why not share theirs? The events page on their website is another one of the best resources in the city, and way more people should be using it. It's constantly updated. So bookmark whatsupdunwoody.com/events and look at it once a week because there's always something fun happening here. You just don't know where to find it. I guess that's maybe the call to action that you could have now, that if you want to support this type of events, if you like this kind of stuff, it's countless amount. Let's see, farmers market, parade, light up Dunwoody, now Dine Around Dunwoody. I said it right. I kept saying Dine in Dunwoody.
Say it right.
Dine Around Dunwoody. Dad, I'm going to remember that acronym there. These are all events that the DHA puts on, and they couldn't do it without the little bit of money that you have to spend to have these events. So if you like these events and you want to spend, is it $40 and $100? What are the different options?
Two levels of membership. We're not, as you know, we're not funded by the hotel motel tax. We're not funded by, a percentage of commercial real estate values, around the city. We depend wholeheartedly on people saying, we like what you do. We like what you stand for. Here's my $40 or here's my $100. That's how we keep the lights on. We do raise money to offset the cost of the events. Leah Economos does a phenomenal job at bridging the gap between DHA and the sponsorship community, if you will, of businesses, to help us offset the cost of the parade, to help us offset the cost of Dine Around Dunwoody or Light Up Dunwoody. So my heart is full with respect to the effort that the people around me make, you being one of them, and could not, we could not have the success that we've had without those people and without the support of the community. And we continue to need it.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's the call to action. Okay. Well, anything else you want to mention about Dine Around Dunwoody?
Well, a couple of things. We've got our dates set. May 21st is the kickoff event at Brook Run Park. The 18th of June, we believe that we're going to be in the courtyard at Spruill Arts Center for that event, which I think is just
also a hidden gem that not many people know about.
I like having our meetings at Spruill. I just like that little room, and you look right out and you see that beautiful courtyard that they built.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be a great location for a Dine Around Dunwoody event. We're going to take July off, but the 20th of August is the third event of the season. We believe at this point that we're going to do that one at High Street, in the courtyard, in the amphitheater at High Street, and give the restaurants at High Street an opportunity to participate in the Dine Around Dunwoody event there. September, the pieces of that puzzle are still being put together, but then we'll come back on the 29th of October to Brook Run Park for the traditional, the Parks and Recs Truck or Treat event for the kids. And
that's a good one. That's probably the biggest one every
year. That was
year,
our biggest draw for a lot of reasons. But that will take us to the end of the Dine Around Dunwoody this year, which will be the 29th of October. Now, one of the things I will say, one of the biggest comments that I got last year about this event was that our local vendor, Moondog Growlers, was not involved anymore. We have brought back Moondog Growlers. Felicia and team from Moondogs will be the beverage provider.
Nice.
The adult beverage provider, I should say, for Dine Around Dunwoody. They're excited to be back. I'm excited to have them back. And I think once people hear that Moondog Growlers is back, that's going to be a draw in and of itself. So we're real happy to have been able to rebridge that relationship and get them back in the fold. And we're happy to have them.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't expecting Spruill Center's got their little park that a lot of people don't know about. So that's a cool one. But High Street, that's a good idea. I mean, you could jump around to places like that, once a year. A lot of people haven't been to High Street, and we go there all the time. Velvet Taco is a mainstay for the Weber family. But I think a lot of people, I was talking to somebody this weekend that didn't even know that it existed, lives in Dunwoody, no idea what High Street was. So that'll bring a lot of people there, and kind of probably different people that normally wouldn't go to High Street.
We think it's, we've said internally, it's a good opportunity, just as you said, to take Dunwoody to High Street, if you will.
Yeah. And they already have their marketing channels too, so they'll bring people.
So there's a lot of cross marketing, opportunities there, a lot of channels, to open up. And the general comment is, well, that's all apartments. That's not your typical, audience. But they have that great natural amphitheater there, that sort of walks down to the courtyard. I just think I think it's a great opportunity for the DHA and High Street to introduce themselves to one another through a family-friendly event that they're excited about, and we're excied to be there as well. So that, again,
I love
that
it.
wasn't
and those
idea,
people, the people in those apartments probably don't feel like part of Dunwoody. I mean, they feel like part of the perimeter area and part of High Street. And so, bringing Dunwoody to them is a good way to introduce them to our community. And
one of these days, those people are going to call Matt Weber and say, Matt, I'm ready to buy a house. And then
there we go.
They'll be DHA candidates at that point.
There we go. Bringing it full circle. Well, I think these are great ideas. Dine Around Dunwoody is kicking off this year. We've got some dates. I'll put those dates out. Keep me updated, and I'll be sure to put everything out.
We'll do it. We're excited. Again, thank you for giving us the platform to,
absolutely.
to roll this out, through the What's Up Dunwoody platform. Like the parade, which you're involved in, a lot of moving parts. It doesn't seem like there are a lot of moving parts, but even the most consolidated events still have a lot of moving parts. So I have a lot of people to thank for helping roll this out, the brainstorming, the ideas, all of it is going to come to fruition starting on May the 21st. And we're really excited about this. So I hope the community's excited. I hope the community will come out and support the new look that we're trying to accomplish with respect to the food, the new look that we're trying to accomplish with respect to entertainment, and sort of reinvigorate the community's interest in this event, which has been, again, a mainstay event now for about 15 years with the DHA.
Right. And thanks for what you've done for the DHA, because you came in and really shook things up and got people excited about it.
I appreciate that.
You've made huge strides with the DHA over the last year. And this is just, one of those things. The website is amazing. If you guys haven't been to the website yet, check it out, because there's all different, there's information about all the different events. And Cap Concepts will give them a shout out. They've done a great job with it. And you spent a little bit of money on the website and on these different things. And Leah's kind of made up for some of it with extra sponsorships. Julia's made up for it. She's doing a killer job with the socials and that kind of stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah, I joked at the meeting Sunday night. We actually live streamed the DHA Sunday night. David Ziskin got us back into the 21st century.
There we go.
Which, supports the theory that I have the face for radio. But I joked at the meeting that, I was talking about ideas for the parade and some of the things with Dine Around Dunwoody. And I said, none of these are my ideas. These are all, I have a lot of people to thank. I appreciate the compliment, but firsthand that there is a really talented, really creative group of people around me. And none of this would be possible without their help and without their input. But I appreciate the shout out. It's been a fun year. It's been a frustrating year in some respects because we're all volunteer. No one gets paid, to do anything, for the DHA. But Dine Around Dunwoody is just one of those things that came out of the incubator, if you will. And this is what we're doing this year with respect to this event. And we think it's going to be very well received by the community. Different locations, different look. We're just thrilled at the way that
breathe some new life into it.
Yeah,
I think people will show up.
I think they will.
Well, cool. Well, thanks for coming on, Tim. Thanks for all you do, and we'll talk to you next time.
Thanks, Matt. Appreciate you, and thanks to everybody, and we'll talk soon.